Today is actual scary ghost stories.
Yeah.
It's gonna get spooky up in here. You tell your parents, I'm not dealing with the translucent man, and you move.
Someone I know was looking for a picture of something important in her phone and instead found 2 pictures of her sleeping. No.
I'm back from the dead, baby. Scary. They need like a hardcore Ghostbuster
Yeah, they do.
up in there.
And
Not
soft.
the top! Why
Why'd you literally do that?
Hi. Hey, it's Sarah and Lo Beeston, your Fairly Odd Sisters. Woo! Yeah!
Please don't make me do it again.
Do your scariest laugh, Sarah.
No, that was great.
No,
That
do your
was- that was
scariest.
perfect.
No, do your,
I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen, and I'm moving on. Happy Halloween!
We're so bad.
Happy Halloween, everyone!
Happy
Welcome
Halloween.
back to the Fairly Odd Sisters podcast. It's gonna get spooky up in here.
We are dressed up today as somebody different.
Yes.
If you can't see us,
Go watch the YouTube.
Sarah is Sabrina Carpenter from the music video Taste, and I am
Jenna Ortega
impersonating Camila Cabello. Pretty sure.
The drama.
The
drama. If you don't know the drama behind that, basically, Lo can take it away because she knows more about it.
So basically what happened was, obviously Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes have been on again, off again for years and years. I guess in the middle there, somewhere in the middle there, Sabrina Carpenter and Shawn Mendes were dating. Had no idea. And then in her songs, she alludes to the fact that like every time like they were together, he would like, you know, go back with Camila, and like she was just like, what the frick, like, you know. Anyway, so then I guess Camila Cabello wrote a song about Sabrina called Juno, or wait, no, what's it called?
Not
June
that's
Gloom.
Sabrina.
Sorry,
Yeah.
June Gloom. And then Sabrina basically wrote this entire album, her new album, about that situation.
And
So
we are dressed up from the
Taste music video.
which is very graphic. If you're
Yeah,
a child,
it's
do not watch it. Actually,
so scary.
the
But
first time I watched it, I couldn't
really
actually
shocking.
watch it.
It's really
Lo showed
shocking.
it to me, and I was like, "Wow, you just don't expect that." So we're just from the hospital scene of this.
See this? If you can't see,
Yeah,
we
Our homemade
made
shockers.
some push-up stands and some tinfoil and a phone little cord.
to be the defibrillator.
The nebulizer. The fibulizer.
Defibrillator.
The defibrillator.
Don't listen to her.
That's my prop.
Yes. So that's who we are today.
That's who we are today. And unfortunately, this eye mask is literally the most overstimulating thing I've ever
I told
had
her
on my
not to
face.
wear it for the
So
podcast
it's
because
coming
no
off.
one's really listening.
Let's get a little thumbnail. And
or
then
no
it's
one's
coming
really
off.
watching. I mean, some of you are watching on YouTube, but she doesn't need to be in pain just to, you know.
No, literally.
You know.
It's so overstimulating. Okay, wait 1 second. Oh,
Okay, the
I
eye
feel
mask
like a free
is off.
person. Wow. We
well,
filmed a bunch of TikToks and reels for this one as well.
Yes.
And the entire time I didn't wear my gloves, so now I'm going to enjoy my gloves on.
Yeah.
But
They
anyway.
also have makeup all over them.
They
which
do,
is fun. Yes.
which is so cute.
Super fun. So yeah, today is Halloween. Hopefully you're doing some fun things with your family. Watch your kids, keep track of them. I know that can be scary.
Yeah.
I always worry about that because there's so many kids everywhere and they're all dressed in different things, you know.
It's crazy.
What are you guys doing for your family costume?
We will be,
Because I'm sure you'll have posted something.
probably. We're going to be the Shrek family.
So
And
good.
well, so originally I was going to be Fiona. Tanner was going to be Shrek. We wanted Ozzy to be Donkey because Donkey's pretty iconic for her. And then Stella was going to be Baby Shrek because sometimes she just resembles Baby Shrek. And it's the cutest thing ever. And so that's what we were going to be. But since we told Ozzy what the plan was, she was like, I want to be Fiona. So I was like, you can be Fiona. And so now Tanner's going to be Prince Charming because he looks actually kind of like Prince Charming. And then I'm going to be the godmother, the mom of Prince Charming.
Yes.
So
Are you doing
everything's kind
the
of
full gray wig and everything?
I have her hair's like a
cupcake.
lavender.
It's like a cupcake.
Yeah, it is. I got a lavender wig. I'll see what I can do with it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to be able to do because that's like syndrome status.
Yeah.
Like it's sticking straight up.
It sticks up. Like
and I don't know if I can do that, but maybe I'll be the modernized godmother.
Yes.
Who knows what I'll end up doing, but
that's exciting.
Anyway, that's what we're doing. What are you guys doing?
We let Jack decide. It's so funny because back when I was figuring out Halloween, which was like a month ago.
Yeah.
Jack said he wanted to be Mario. So that's just what we're doing. If you ask Jack today, he's now in the craziest Spider-Man kick of his life. Oh. So he would 100% today say he wants to be Spider-Man. Yeah. But he had never even seen the show when I asked him. So I went and bought all the costumes. And I'm like, because he said he wanted to be Mario. Yeah. So him and Derek are Mario and Luigi, and me and Sunny are Peach and Daisy.
Wow.
But it's funny now. Yeah. It wouldn't have been that way. If it, when they just get hooked on something.
Yes, for sure.
Like he was in such a Bluey phase. I thought we were gonna be the Bluey family. Yeah. And then he got hooked on Mario because we let him play Mario Kart once, and now it's like Spider-Man all the way. Yeah. So, no, yeah, they get latched. That's for sure. We never even got to be Lightning McQueen and Sally. I'm kind of sad. I thought we were gonna do something like that. But yeah. The phase is gone. The phase is gone. Sad.
That's so sad. Sometimes you think something's going to last forever with kids. And so you just think like, oh, this is just who they are. And then it like goes away and you don't like ever realize like.
That was such a cute phase.
Sad because like imagine if somebody told you every time it was the last time that they did that thing. Like imagine if you knew every time like your kid did something for the last time and you're like, okay.
No, I'm so glad I don't know. That actually makes me so sad.
So sad. Yeah. Anyway.
I want him to like come back to Cars at some point because that's the cutest phase ever.
Cars is so cute too.
Anyway, well today we don't really have any other pop culture updates. I feel like it's been pretty silent in the world out there.
I mean
things are happening. We just don't know.
We don't know right now. We've been filming a lot these last 2 days, so it's been crazy.
You can also see all of our other videos on our personal profiles. We posted some there, a lot on the podcast, and if you want to see the costumes and all the before and afters, all of that are on our pages.
We filmed some good ones.
Yeah, there was Derek even guest starred in one of the TikToks.
He really did.
Great.
It was really good.
So yeah, but today I love how last episode we fully thought it was going to be like terrifying stories, and then we were laughing our heads off and crying.
Literally.
Today is actual scary ghost stories, like haunting.
So listen to this in the daytime, unless you're like really crazy and can like handle it in the night.
Yeah, there's no way we could film this at night.
Oh. No, I'm scared of the dark.
I'm
scared of the dark. I can't even watch.
So I hope you guys have some good ones because I feel like the last time we did this, we were shivering.
In fear. We went through. Do you remember the amount that we got to that we couldn't even get to? It was like thousands of submissions, and we were like trying to like, wow. So anyway,
so crazy.
I'm excited to get into this though. These episodes are always like fun to like.
They're fun because they're not happening to you.
Yeah.
Like, if this was happening to me,
it's like. Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get going.
Okay.
What do you say? This one says, my grandma had the music box in her room that would play music when you opened it. The man that made the box was good friends with my grandma. One night, the music box started playing music out of nowhere while everyone was in the other room. It was closed before that, and my grandma said she hadn't touched it in years. The next day, she found out that man who had made the box passed away that night, the same night it played the music.
I literally already have chills. First one.
If you can zoom on this.
Yeah, first one got chills.
I am.
Oh, the creepy music.
It's like a special one though. That one's not like as scary. That one's kind of more like.
Probably just wanting to see all his creations.
He's like, by the way, if you ever bought something for me, you like that?
You like that? I'm back from the dead, baby. It's scary.
Just passing through, baby.
Oh my gosh, it's scary. Says, I woke up in the middle of the night, super pregnant to pee. I'm sorry, I thought it was...
Oh, like she woke up to pee in the
pregnant. Okay. Normally, I'm a scaredy cat and paranoid, but I woke up from a funny dream and was literally laughing on the toilet when all of a sudden I hear a man's voice say, hello. I say, John?
What?
This was my husband's name and his stepdad's name, who we were renting the house from. I heard nothing and no one was there, so I ran and jumped back in bed under the covers. My husband's mom said when they stayed there, his little sister would get scared of a man at night, and she figured it was her father who had passed. She asked him to quit visiting her because it was scaring her daughter, and it stopped.
Whoa.
Ew, not the hello.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
When you can hear like a voice.
Do you ever wonder, like, is that just like, are they actually saying that? Or is it just like, do you think you hear it? Like, is it, because I do that all the time.
Where you like think
where
you
I'm like,
hear.
Derek, like, what'd you say? And he's like, I didn't say anything. But like, I hear things all the time. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
Not that it totally probably could be a ghost.
Sometimes you can't deny. Like, I feel like it's not to me. I feel like it's happened to enough people. I don't know, because they describe it as like there's somebody in the room that said something.
Oh, I don't doubt that someone said hello. It's just like,
it's
sometimes
like,
I like wonder if
how much you hear.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because I do freaky. That all the time. Derek's like, I didn't say anything. I'm like, no, I heard you say
I heard
something.
you speak. Maybe you're just actually hearing ghosts. And you're
just
trying to blame it on there. Yeah, you're like, actually, I'm a medium.
They're always talking to me.
Sarah just has voices in her head all the time. Doesn't this happen to you all the time where like you just hear somebody talking to you like full sentences and you're like, who the heck said that? And Derek's like, I haven't said one thing. You're just a medium. Okay. Oh, man. This one says, in high school, my best friend had a dog that slept with her every night. One night, my friend woke up to her dog growling and barking, standing on the edge of her bed, staring straight at the corner of the ceiling with her hair standing up. Okay. This has happened to me before, so it's, yeah. After a while of doing this, the dog's head started going back and forth between the door and the corner of the room as if she was watching someone, even though no one was there. My friend was too scared to move, but when the dog started running around the room and growling, she left and went to sleep with her parents. My friend told her mom about it in the morning, and the scary thing was that her mom told her that when her younger sister was a baby, she would wake up from her nap in that same room, screaming and pointing to the corner. Ooh! Oh, I got chills. Yeah. Pointing to the same corner that the dog was looking and barking at. Her house was our designated sleepover house, and it took me and my friends a while to want to stay the night there again. LOL. I love you guys. Love the pod.
Love you.
Full chills.
Yeah, I don't like that. Dogs, I think dogs definitely know.
They can sense.
Dogs and little kids.
Well, that same exact thing happened to me. Remember, we were with the scary ghost, and then Huli was like looking.
Huli is your brother's dog.
Yeah, and he would like go up the door with his eyes, and then he would growl, and then all his hair would stand on, and he'd let out like this huge bark.
Yeah, I think babies and dogs for sure know.
For sure. That's so spooky.
6 years ago, I moved in with my best friend to a studio in Germany. One night, I dreamed about a girl named Nadine. She grabbed me and pulled me from the apartment out onto the balcony. At that moment, I didn't know that it was a dream. I screamed for my roommate, and shortly after I woke up, I was so sure that I did actually scream, but my roommate didn't hear me. From that day on, I dreamed of Nadine about once or twice a year. Every time I did dream of her, weird things were happening in my life, like getting sick, having bad luck that day, getting into fights with my boyfriend. Anyways, 2 months ago, I dreamed of her again, and I finally defeated her. I pushed her off the balcony, and she died. To be honest, I don't think that was all just dreams. I really think at some point she lived there in the flat that we stayed in. It's a very old building from the 1800s. Do you guys have an idea? Why else would I know her name? Why did she come into my dreams with such a dark aura?
Ooh. Yeah. That's like Inception. It's like
she like latched onto you.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
That's really scary.
You don't know. I'm glad you beat her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hopefully she doesn't come back to your dreams.
Yeah. Well, you think about like all those old places that you can stay in. You don't know like what's happened there, what's gone down. I feel like that's valid. Have something scary happen in a place that old.
Oh my gosh. So scary.
A lot of history.
So much history. Like in the homes that are like 100 years old. Mm-hmm. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, even then that's like not even that.
And then there's homes that are like older than that. And you're like,
I feel like the United States is all pretty new.
It's like newer compared to Europe.
Yeah, because we had some friends visiting us, and I was telling him, I was like, my school is 100 years old. It's like the oldest school in Utah and so haunted. My high school, he's like, my school is like 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're like,
okay.
whoa.
I'm like, I think you have me beat.
Yeah. That's actually crazy. Okay, this one says, everyone knows that there are ghosts in our house and our property. I've never seen one, but my dad and his parents have a lot of these stories. So basically, one time me and my family were on vacation. My grandma was staying at our house to watch it. In the evening, my grandma went to close the garage doors. When she was closing it, she saw a man standing at the other end of the garage and just smiling at her. No. Since my grandma is really nice and a curious person, she didn't panic, but started getting closer and closer to him. Our garage is connected to the basement, so this guy went towards the basement.
Oh my gosh. She's so brave.
My grandma went after him, but couldn't see him anywhere. All the doors and windows were closed. Of course, my grandma, who is familiar with this house and all the ghost stories, didn't think much of it. It was about 13 years ago, and now I'm 25 and still terrified when I have to park my car in the garage or go to the basement. That is so scary. Oh, yeah.
I will be 100% honest. I would never think to follow the man that was standing there smiling at me. I'd shut the door, lock it, and call the police. So scary. The fact that she went out and tried to follow him is crazy.
Yes.
It has happened. We had our first snowfall here in Utah. I cannot believe it. I had my very first pumpkin spice chai, and it was freaking delicious. And it's time to get cozy in our little Quince sweaters and dresses and all things cozy, okay?
If you don't know what Quince is, when she says cozy Quince sweaters, it's basically a brand that has all the fall essentials that you need. They have leather jackets, cotton cardigans, soft denim, and all the stuff that you need to have a good fall wardrobe. They are known for their Mongolian cashmere sweaters that are from $50, so their price points are really good. Lo and I are sporting both Quince today. I have my black Australian wool dress on, and she also has the Australian wool cardigan on. It's
cute
so
little cardigan.
If you're
obsessed.
watching, I guess if you're
listening, it's really cute.
If you're listening, just picture the cutest sweater in the world. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And of course, they have premium fabrics. So the quality is amazing.
Yes, and you're getting it for a really good deal because they cut out that middleman. And go and give us the savings that we need. Get cozy in Quince's high quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/fairlyodd for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/fairlyodd to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/fairlyodd.
Okay, this one says, when I was in first grade, my family moved into a historic home. It was great for a few weeks until small things started happening. My closet light would turn on by itself. All the cabinets would open in the middle of the night with the things removed. The strangest thing was my foster sister at the time was showering while my mom was vacuuming and swore that she heard someone screaming her name. But only her and my mom were home. Eventually we left because whatever it was in the house started locking the doors and locking us out. Such a weird time. P.S. We knew something was wrong because our dog hated certain rooms. And one day we came home to the doors open and our dog missing from his cage. Hate that.
Oh,
hate that.
My gosh.
Those like houses that ghosts just like own.
One of my sister-in-law's close friends.
Oh, really?
Had a haunted house and they lived there with... had a haunted house. Their house that they lived in was haunted. And they lived there with like 6 girls and so much stuff like that would happen. Like they would all be laying in their rooms and they would hear the cupboards out in the kitchen just like cranking, like opening, closing, slamming, opening, closing. They would all just blame it on each other and be like, oh, one of them's like out there getting food. And then they'd wake up in the morning and they were like, so who was that like rummaging through the food last night? And all of them would be like, I thought that was you. I thought that was you. They'd go in and like when they would leave, they would come home to like all these cupboards open, things just scattered everywhere. Like, and all of them were just like, what is actually going on? So many scary stories like that where you're just like, oh, there's too many ghosts in there.
I fully believe that's happened to me. So like the doors opening in front of me.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Real.
Let's see. This one says, not spooky, but my mom lost her grandpa when she was about 18 years old and she was very close to him. At the time, she was working in a supermarket as a cashier, and as she locked up, she saw her grandpa standing in the back of the store smiling and waving at her. Although she doesn't believe in ghosts, she believes that he came back to the earth for a moment to tell her that everything is going to be okay. Oh, that's very sweet.
That's so sweet, but I'm sorry if you saw that. How do you not believe in ghosts?
Wait a second.
You saw a
Something's
ghost.
not adding up here.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't believe in ghosts, but
I saw him.
what was that then?
He just popped in.
What
But
was
that's
that?
a ghost.
What's that sound? It's like, what was that?
What was that?
What was that?
That's really sweet. That happened to my grandma as well. My mom's dad died when she was really young, and he was young. He was in his 50s, and he randomly just was playing basketball, was running down the court, and just dropped dead. And no, he was a healthy guy. Nothing wrong with him. No health concerns, and he just died out of nowhere. And like, was so sad for my mom and my grandma. And he that night came back and saw her because she was just like destroyed out of nowhere. And he just like visited her in her room, and she's like, yeah.
That is so
crazy.
It's
so crazy.
Oh my gosh.
And he also visited that same night.
So the night he passed.
The night that he passed, yeah. Like
Yeah.
he passed that day, and then that night visited my grandma, and then went to his best friends.
Wow.
And they both talked about it. Like, he was with me too. And then he was like saying his goodbyes kind of.
What?
I think, yeah.
Probably because he's like, that was so sudden, like
sudden.
so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not ready to
He's
like
making sure everyone's
bounce
okay.
out of here.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's really crazy.
But they like both have that
Oh,
experience
wow.
the same night.
That's
Crazy.
really, really crazy.
All right. Next one says, I'm from Boise, Idaho.
I'm
I'm so sorry. I'm
from Booty Booty.
I'm from Boise, Idaho, but when I was 14, we moved to a small town in Wyoming for 6 months. The house we moved into felt weird the second we walked in. It was a split-level home. My parents and brother slept on the lower level, my sister and I on the upper. There's so many things that happened, but one of the things that happened all the time was my little sister coming into my room, sleepwalking and only 8 years old, and would stand at the end of my bed staring at me and crying silently, straight out of a horror movie.
Yeah.
I would pick her up and put her in my bed. She sometimes would continue to sit up and just stare at nothing. Another was the cabinets in the whole house would open and slam all the time. I personally would see red glowing lights floating around the house at times. My mom and dad said they never got a full night's sleep in that house because they both felt someone was watching them from a specific corner of the room, which neither of them expressed until we had moved away from the house. There was also a weird smell that would go through the house at times. My sister said she always saw this scary, bloody man outside her window looking at her.
No.
Our final effort to stay in the house, we flew my grandpa to stay with us and pray for the house. We were all Christians, but he was the most spiritual. The whole 2 weeks he was there, he was extremely sick and nothing helped.
What?
We knew we needed
They were like making him sick.
We knew we needed not just out of the house, but the city as a whole, and moved back to Idaho. You literally
What was the city they moved to?
They moved to Wyoming.
Whoa.
A city in Wyoming. That is like a full on.
A lot of crazy stuff has happened in
I'm glad you guys
Wyoming.
didn't stay there.
Whoa.
Well, I think I would have, after all that, been out in 2 seconds. But that's so hard to move and then just move for that.
Yeah, it's so much harder said.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's harder.
Yeah, to be like, oh, just move back. But
Yeah.
like, you have to move your whole
you have to
life
literally
again.
pick up again,
And find
like sell
another
your
place
house.
to live.
Right. And then you're selling your house. How do you sell your house when
To
it's that
someone
haunted
else.
to somebody else? Don't you feel
That's
so guilty?
True.
But then you're like, I'm not keeping this.
I never thought about that.
But you'd have to sell it to
like,
somebody who doesn't believe.
Yeah,
in,
but like
ghosts.
you can't say that to them. Like
Yeah.
you can't. One of the selling points be like, "Do you believe in ghosts?"
Yeah, literally. Like, as you're. By the way, only to people who don't believe in ghosts. They're like, interesting. I wonder
Like,
why.
why?
But seriously, like,
You'd have to like come get someone to like exercise the house or something.
well, like, it seems like they tried.
He didn't do it good enough. Just kidding.
They need somebody else.
They need somebody else. They need like a hardcore Ghostbuster
Yeah, they do.
up in there.
Yeah.
That's so terrifying.
Scary.
Ooh, chilies.
Okay, let's
It's also
see.
cold in here, so maybe that's why. But I'm getting
Chills
next
left
level
and right.
chills. My hair's growing so long.
My hair's growing so long right now. Okay, this one says, One day, a teacher at my school had to stay really late for parent-teacher conferences. It was around 11, and she was the only one left in school. That's a really late for parent-teacher conference. Yeah. 11 p.m.? Okay. I'm
just thinking, like, I don't believe you.
Was she in love with one of the parents? Sorry. Doesn't even matter, but...
Was she in love? Was she having an affair?
What's she doing that late? Oh, okay. 11, and she was the only one left in school. Because her classroom was closest to the auditorium, she was in charge of making sure that the auditorium doors were shut and locked. On her way out, she noticed that one of the doors was not shut, so she walked over to shut it. She popped her head into the auditorium to make sure that there was no one in there. After saying hello and getting no response, she started to close the door, when all of a sudden she heard a little girl say, "Leaving already?" My gosh, I'm getting chills left and right. She looked back in the auditorium. She once again saw nothing. She got scared and ran out of the school. When she got to her car, she decided to drive around all the parking lots to make sure there was no one there. There wasn't. After this, she told her students the story, and we named the ghost Samantha. At the time, I would help this same teacher with choir in the morning for the elementary school kids across the street. Because of this, me and a couple of my other friends would often be the first people in the school. I remember one day, me and 2 other friends were walking past the auditorium and said, "Hi, Samantha." All of a sudden, the auditorium doors started to violently shake. We all screamed and ran away. Another time, I was alone in the auditorium, going to turn on the light so it was completely dark. I said, "Hi, Samantha," and then there was a whistle to the tune of "Ring Around the Rosie." Stop. Literally stop. Stop saying hi to
her. Stop saying hi.
Can you stop saying hi to Samantha? Stop. I've already grown an inch
next kid, Samantha.
of hair. Oh my gosh. Eventually, my teacher got curious and decided to look up any tragedies that happened around my school. We learned that a little girl had been hit by a car in the street in front of our school and unfortunately passed away. After learning that, we always felt so sad when we would have experiences with Samantha. Okay. Just a sweet little girl trying to play little tricky tricks.
I'm trying to figure out if this is my high school. Because there's a little girl that haunts the auditorium in my high school. Oh. So I am unsure, but it sounds exact. And I know they named it.
I feel like she would have said.
They named her.
She would have said, I went to the same school as you.
Maybe she doesn't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, went to Pleasant Grove High School. Very haunted. Very, very haunted. You can look up stuff about that.
I think auditoriums. Why do they haunt the auditoriums?
I don't know. But all the drama kids in our high school had the scariest experiences in that auditorium, where literally they would go in and try and say hi to the ghost late at night because they would be rehearsing for the plays, and then like all the seats would start shaking.
Oh my gosh.
I told that story when we were having that overnighter. Maybe I'll tell it again because that was forever ago.
Yeah.
But basically for a senior Halloween night, they did an all-nighter at the school, and so we were there, and they had come up with this game because everyone had heard that the auditorium was so haunted. They wanted to come up with this game where they put a chair in the center of the stage of the auditorium. Yeah. And then they would send one person in at a time, and there was a night vision camera on them. So the people that were out in the cafeteria could all sit in view. Like them, so but crazy. They're in like pitch black.
Yeah.
And so they can't see anything.
Yeah.
And so it was like pretty normal for a while. It was just kind of like a joke, like, oh, people would run out scared, and it was fine. And then there was like one of the student council guys went in there on the stage and sat in there, and he's like a tough dude, but he like started freaking out, like freaking out, ran out of there so freaking fast. He heard like little girl laughter or something along those lines, something creepy, little kiddish, and they went back in to the auditorium, and on the piano in the dust there were little tiny handprints, like so little gross kid handprints, not like anyone our size or our age, all over the piano.
That's so scary.
And then they shut it down. They stopped doing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
That's so crazy.
A lot of stuff.
Just an activity.
Well, they said that same little girl, the janitors, they would pull on the janitor's keys late at night and just like pull on them and always tug at the keys. And they just like knew that it was fine.
Oh.
That one time I was there late at the school doing ceramics, and I saw that blue orb, not even kidding, flying in the window. of one of the classrooms, and we just ran. I'm like, but then, and I thought I was crazy until I started doing stuff like this, and people talk about these flying blue orbs, and I'm like, what is that? But
so true.
I know that I saw the exact same thing, so I'm like, okay, crazy.
The orbs is literally,
it's weird. A lot of people talk about that.
Yeah.
And I saw one that night and ran. Anyway, crazy.
That's really crazy.
Crazy.
Okay,
that was so funny how that started.
Yeah.
Parent teacher conferences late at night,
like,
11 p.m.
What are you doing? Just kidding.
It's suspicious.
I know that teachers have late night stuff, but that's funny.
Man. This one says, I moved into my new house about 2 months ago. Everybody in my new town warned me and my family that our house was haunted, but we refused to believe them. A few days after we moved in, I woke up at midnight to see a pale old man sitting on the end of my bed.
No.
Oh, I was petrified. He looked sort of transparent, like a ghost. This guy had been hanging out in my bedroom ever since, making me scared to enter my own bedroom. What do I do?
Oh, this is current.
This is current?
This is a current thing.
You move. You tell your parents, I'm not dealing with the translucent man, and you move.
Oh, no. I think
so
that,
sorry.
okay, the option is probably that she can't move. But if you cannot move, I think that you just get somebody in there, bless it. Like,
say a prayer.
You can say your own cast out.
Yeah,
like, you can cast
away.
it out by yourself,
Even
too.
if he's a nice ghost, you just don't want him hanging around.
I don't want you here.
Yeah.
Like, go somewhere else.
The fact that people
so
said
scary.
that it was haunted and then it actually is.
Yeah.
I wonder why they know that it's haunted.
Yeah,
So
I would
sorry,
tell
but
your
yeah.
parents, and then obviously you probably already have, but then
If
like
they
get
can't
somebody in
move.
there to freaking get rid of that thing.
I'd have to do something the first time I saw a ghost in my house. Like, I could not go on after that.
Yeah, like the visual of seeing somebody is, that's just a lot.
It's icky.
Like it's a lot to hear stuff, and it's a lot to like feel like there's somebody watching you, and you know, all the shiz. But like if you saw a literal, look at that. Get a zoom of that 4K. That's crazy. Hair straight up.
I have the hairiest arm.
You just grew your arm hair so long from all the chills that you got. If I saw something,
Lo's giving really
not
good
just
advice
here.
right now.
No, I'm saying I would be shooketh down to my little tiny bones.
Yes.
That would be scary.
I'm so sorry. That is really terrible that you're dealing with that.
This one says, not my story, but someone I know was looking for a picture of something important in her phone and instead found 2 pictures on different days of her sleeping. No. Okay, this continues on. I'm sorry. It says, this is extra spooky because my friend lives alone. No. These pictures were taken at her apartment where she does not live with anyone. Not sure if this is a ghost story, but someone or something took her phone and managed to take pictures of her while she was asleep. She moved about a month later and will never recommend those apartments to anyone.
I honestly, like, as much as I want to think it's a ghost,
That
almost feel
feels-
like it's a stalker.
Yeah.
Like, that's which is scarier, honestly.
Yeah.
When you start thinking about that.
Yeah, that feels scarier. That feels a lot scarier because that's like a real human. That,
like, I hope it was a
I'm
ghost.
so glad she got out of there.
And I hope
I'm
nothing's
so
happened
glad.
since, but
Get the frick out of there.
It's giving like a stalker was in your house
Ew,
vibes.
I don't
you're
like
sleeping.
that. The picture, no. That's just like, and they want you to find it.
No.
Because they took it on your phone, obviously, to say like, look, I can see you sleeping.
I am so glad you got out of that apartment.
Janice.
They should honestly just burn them down at that point.
burn it down.
Okay.
Start anew. Sorry.
I've always been connected to the spirit world since I was a kid.
Oh, just like Sarah.
Most of my I hear voices. Most of my encounters happen in dreams, and this is the creepiest, coolest one yet. When I was 12, my mom was visiting my grandpa to say goodbye. Right about that time, I had been having a reoccurring nightmare of a dark figure standing far away from me, beckoning me toward him. He would move his finger and come to me. movement, and every time his finger moved, I would hear rhythmic drumming, and my body would unwillingly move closer and closer to him.
What?
I would always wake up before I got up close. Fast forward a month, and I was staying with my dad the night my mom came back from visiting my grandpa. I had the nightmare again, but this time another figure appeared. I didn't recognize him, but he was dressed in all white. He looked at me through his arms open, and a huge burst of white light illuminated the area, and I saw thousands of demons frozen in place.
What?
I remember looking at the man in the white, and he smiled at me. That's the last time I had the nightmare. Come to find out, the next day that my grandpa passed away in the night that my mom got back home, the same day that I had my last nightmare. I had never met my grandpa and was having a hard time grieving, so I asked my mom to show me old photos of him as a way to connect. She pulled one out, and there in the picture was my grandpa dressed in the white naval uniform. I recognized him immediately and started crying. My mom also told me later that her dad would always sleep with his legs crossed and his arms across his chest, so she would move his arms and legs into that position while she visited him. He was suffering from ALS. The night she came home, she woke up in the middle of the night with her legs crossed and her arms across her chest.
Stop.
She was always a side sleeper, so she thought it was odd. When she got the call that he passed that next morning, she said she knew that it was her dad coming to say goodbye.
Aww.
Oh,
That's
wow.
really sweet.
That is the most special story
He did a
I've
lot
ever
of
heard.
good work.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, first I'm gonna save him from these terrible demon nightmares.
I got musty eyes. Keep going.
Wait, the fact that he had never met his grandpa,
I know.
and he fully saw him in white, and then was
That's a
it was
beautiful.
him.
That's a beautiful story.
That's crazy.
Really. I mean, 100%. That's a beautiful story.
That is. And then the little position, the sleeping position. That's so sad. They got ALS.
Yeah.
They couldn't move.
Oh my gosh, that is,
So sad.
he was going now that he could do things, and he was helping everyone out. That is really
Aw.
cool.
Sweet.
Great story. Thank you for
Great
submitting
story. I like that. Okay. See, there are some good,
that.
ghosts out there. Okay, this one says, oh no, I don't want to go to this one. The first line is making me not want to read it. It says, took a Ouija board to my brother's friend's house, which is just never do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
You're asking for
never do that. When we were younger, because their house had weird things happen all the time. Oh,
So why not just talk to him?
why not just bring the Ouija board? Oh gosh. We asked it in the name of my friend's dog. Oh, we asked it the name of my friend's dog.
We asked it the name of my friend's dog.
I know, but I said we asked it in the name of my friend's dog.
Oh my gosh.
You always the plus. Okay,
Yes,
sorry about that.
yeah.
I did not mean to do that.
was good.
Okay, we asked it in. Oh my gosh, I almost did it
You're
again.
gonna do it again.
We asked it the name of my friend's dog, and it spelled it out. I wasn't holding on to the board at all. I was the only one who knew the name of the dog. We also threw a toy car up the stairs and asked it what stair it landed on, and it said correctly. I definitely believe in ghosts after that. Well,
I'm glad that's all it did.
yeah, you're lucky.
Trying to
Came out
communicate with
unscathed.
the dead.
Gosh, no Ouija boards, peeps.
It's hard to feel bad when things happen to people that are using Ouija boards. It's
can't.
hard to feel for you.
I can't with the Ouijas.
It says, "Hi, love the show. Thank you so much." So my aunt bought a cute train-shaped bed for her toddler. She got it used, thinking that he would quickly grow out of it. He was absolutely obsessed with it. But at night, he came to their room and woke her up, saying that there is a boy standing there watching him sleep. She didn't think much about it, as she thought it must be a nightmare. The next night, he woke her up, screaming, crying that he is terrified, as the little boy is back staring at him and kicking his bed, and he is very angry. A good few nights were the same. The little boy was kicking and shaking his bed, and he got more and more angry. One afternoon, my aunt was alone at home, sitting sitting on the top of her bed and just reading things on her phone. All of a sudden, she saw some movement from the corner of her eye, and straight away, she just punched at it. It was a balloon. It was left in my cousin's bedroom. It had to come out from the room, go through the corridor, take 2 turns, go into their room, around the bed to her side, and stop by her.
Not the balloons. The balloons get freaky.
No windows or doors were open, and it was not a windy day. She cut the balloon up and threw the train bed away, got a new bed for her son, and everything went back to normal.
Wait, so it was the bed?
Maybe it was holding the spirit because it was used. Maybe it was maybe it was a boy's bed.
Wow.
I bet you it was a boy that had passed away, and he was so mad that
somebody
parents,
else had
sold his
bed.
special bed.
Oh.
Oh
Scary.
my gosh.
Okay. This one says, not me, but my 2 friends went camping up a canyon, which we know can get haunted. Literally like 10 minutes from my friend's house. They slept in hammocks, and my one friend woke up in the middle of the night and saw. Why would you do that? Why would you literally do that? Jumpy person, and you almost just made me shat my pants.
You scared me.
You scared me, then I scared you. Oh, I'm sorry if we gave you a jump scare on there.
No, the top hat man.
You didn't have to scream it at me.
I freaked out because the top hat man has been talked about so many times. Do you not know? Man? The top hat man.
Did it say top hat?
Yes.
What? Did I read that?
Yes.
Gotta get my little finger through that. I haven't gone that far yet.
I'm so sorry.
Gosh, reading ahead.
I swear you said it.
Don't even read it. Look at me when I read. I'm sorry. Scared the shaz out of me. Oh my gosh. Okay, where was I?
I'm so sorry.
Let's see. Gosh. We need to run that back in slow-mo.
No, I can't.
I really got so scared. I threw my phone.
No, I know. The top hat man is real. Keep going.
Nobody knows what we're talking about yet. Okay, here we go. Woof. Don't do that to me. Okay. This says, they slept in hammocks, and my one friend woke up in the middle of the night and saw a man. Obviously, he freaked out.
Saw a man with a top hat.
He skipped the line. He skipped it. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow. Saw a man with a top hat standing several yards away. Obviously, he freaked out, woke up my other friend and whispered, and by whisper shouting his name, and they both saw it. Hid in their hammocks, lol. Anyway, this top hat man just disappeared. I guess. And the next day they Googled man in top hat ghost, and apparently it's a pretty common ghost, and lots of people see him, and he's commonly found in the mountains.
If I had just let you finish, that's what I was trying to get at.
So quick! Yeah! Wait, that's crazy because
I've heard so many stories about the top hat man.
Well, he's in Haunted on Hill House too, Top Hat Man.
Yes.
That we just started and couldn't watch.
Oh my gosh,
it was too scary.
Yes, but like that guy that we saw in the mountains, I never saw the top half of him. What if he was wearing a top hat?
A top hat and shorts. I never saw the top half. Who knows? He could have been had a top hat on.
What we're talking about. If you haven't religiously watched our podcast, shame on you. Just kidding.
Sarah got haunted by a guy
haunted in a canyon by a man.
But he was in shorts.
Or
I doubt he was in a top hat.
He could have been. Anyway.
shorts
You
and a
could
top
go back
hat.
and watch our first horror stories if you want to hear the full story about me getting haunted, because it was terrifying.
Sarah and I both got haunted pretty badly, and we went over the entirety of those stories in a podcast. So go back and watch that.
Like which episode? I can't remember which episode it was at this point.
Maybe
and if you're not watching, then you can't see the overlay.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, that's pretty freaky.
Okay, this one says, once my sister and I went on a haunted asylum tour at midnight. Yeah, sounds pretty fun. We were standing in the autopsy room. Yes, a real autopsy room. And we both felt a zap on our left hand.
Okay.
We then felt super headachy, but when we stepped out of the room, we were completely fine again. The next morning, we noticed that both of our hands had a dotted line of bruises in the shape of a V in the exact same spot on our hand. Creepy.
Huh?
Someone zapped you in there.
There's a V on your hand?
Yeah. Dotted V.
Like a dotted V? Huh?
Someone zapped you.
What the heck?
It's so weird.
V is for vendetta.
Thank you for that input.
So glad I could add to that story.
So glad.
All right. This one says, growing up, my cousin told us that there was a man she was seeing. At first, we were confused. She was about 8, and she said there was an old man visiting her at night. We all got alarmed, and she explained further. She said she would wake up in the middle of the night and always see the same old man standing at the foot of her bed. She said he told her he was there to tuck her in at night, which I hate. She was too scared to get out of bed, so she would fall back asleep. This went on for 5 months, according to her. The same man standing at the foot of her bed, looking at her. Fast forward, once we were older, we are looking through old family photos and see a photo. She immediately says that this is the man in the photo was at her bed. He died in the late 1800s and was in a photo with family descendants. But to this day, we still don't know who this man was and how she saw him.
No.
So spooky.
No, I hate when they see like the old photo of the person.
And they're like,
when
that's them.
alive.
No. Literally chills.
That is so crazy. This one says, I have a lot of ghost stories because growing up, my house was haunted by 2 spirits.
Ooh.
One was my grandpa, who passed away when I was 4 years old in front of our yard due to a widowmaker's heart attack. Whoa. The other spirit is an evil spirit, and we don't know where it came from or who it is. Ooh. I have a lot of stories from when I was younger, but I'll talk about the more recent ones. In high school, I had a lofted bed, but there was an open space because the dresser that was supposed to be there
Lofted bed? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Huh. Okay, keep going.
I didn't like the open space, so I hung a sheet over the side of my bed. I had a mirror hanging on my closet door where I could see the sheet in the mirror from laying in my bed. I was up later than I should have been on a school night watching TV, and I started seeing white flashes go in front of my TV back and forth, and I knew what was happening. A few seconds later, I got a sick feeling in my gut and looked in the mirror. That is when I saw a face with its mouth open wide pressed up against my sheet.
Shut the F up.
I hid under my covers and prayed to God for protection. I didn't sleep well that night. Another story happened when I was 16 and my older sister was home from college.
I'm still not recovered.
I know.
From the first.
Yes. She has a lot of stories of her own, and I can share those too, but when I tell her I had an experience, she believes me and understands, unlike my parents. She was home from college and her boyfriend was staying the night. Her room is right next to mine. At about 1 a.m., I heard this disgusting, deep, demonic laugh. It laughed 3 times in a row, then took a break, and then laughed 3 more times and took a break. This went on for about 20 seconds. I was so scared that I went into my sister's room and asked if I could sleep with her. She asked why. When I told her, she immediately scooted over and made room for me, even though her boyfriend was there, which says a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Another story happened when my sister was home again from college. She came down for breakfast in the morning and said, Ray, were you in my room last night? To which I said, no. And she said she woke up in the middle of the night and saw a tall, lanky person standing at the foot of her bed.
No.
I was 6'2" at the time with no meat to my bones yet. She said she called out my name and it didn't move. At that point, she was scared and grabbed her phone without taking her eyes off the figure. When she turned on her flashlight, the figure disappeared.
No.
I have a ton more ghost stories from that house, and there were some good ones too from when my grandpa passed away.
Oh my gosh. That is so scary. I choose not to believe in ghosts, but there are a few stories from my grandpa's house that are hard to ignore. There was a 3rd floor that they never went to, yet in one bedroom, no matter how many times they made the bed, it would be unmade when they went up again. Ugh. Relatives who stayed with them said they saw a girl in white dress in what used to be a servant's staircase. And then those same relatives were in bed one night. The husband was asleep, but the wife woke up to the feeling of someone kissing her cheek. He confirmed in the morning that it was not him.
Ew. Oh, not the bed.
Spooky.
Someone says, hi, love you both so much. We love you. Here's my ghost story. Hopefully it isn't too long. I'll try and summarize as much as possible. When I was in high school, I went to an all-girls Catholic school in Maryland. It was built in the early 1800s and was just creepy in all ways to begin with. It had original floors, doors, walls, etc., all of that. The place screamed creepy and haunted. My freshman year, I was there. I experienced a bunch of little things along with my classmates, like our hair being pulled while we were sitting at our desks, hearing weird footsteps when we were in the hallways alone, not to mention a heavy solid wood door slamming with no one around in it in the middle of class. However, the scariest story happened my sophomore year in the second floor bathroom. I walked in to use the bathroom like any other day, and all seemed normal. Because the building was so old, there were only 2, maybe 3 stalls in every bathroom. With this in mind, you pretty much could always tell if there were others in the bathroom with you or not. I walked into the bathroom and all the stalls were available, so I went into the last stall and continued on with my business. As I was almost done, the person next to me asked, "Can I borrow some paper?" And of course, I was going to be nice and hand them some, so I said, "Yes, 1 second," without even thinking about it. However, it was then that I remembered I was supposed to be alone in the bathroom. Once I realized this, I looked under the stalls and realized there was no other people in the bathroom with me. At this point, I don't even think I just run out of the stall and back to my class. I was flushed in the face because when I returned to my class, my friends were asking me what was wrong. Fast forward to lunchtime when I was hanging out with some of my friends who were seniors at the time. I explained to them what happened, and that's when they told me that the bathroom I had been in was the site of a suicide of a student from the 1950s.
No.
She had supposedly left a note in the bathroom before she jumped out of the window and fell to her death. Needless to say, I guess it wasn't toilet paper she was needing. It was normal paper. Oh. It just hit me. Oh.
It was normal paper.
Because she wrote the note.
Paper.
Because she wrote the note. Oh, that definitely gave me the creepy crawlies. She said, "Hope this gave you creepy crawlies."
Yeah,
because
it
10
did.
years later, it still gives me goosebumps.
Zoom into my leg.
Thanks for reading. Yep, that definitely did. Did it.
That got me.
I read it and then it hit.
Yeah.
Normal paper.
Just wanted the paper.
Oh. Okay, that is crazy.
Wow.
So crazy. There's so many. Someone just submitted this and said, "Ghosts are fake and you cannot convince me otherwise." Also love you guys.
Well, then they can listen to this and have
shout out to you. Her name is Natalie. You don't believe in ghosts, so shout out.
Shout out, girl.
This episode is probably not scary for you then.
Yeah, that is wild. No, there has to be. Come on.
You want to hear this one?
What? Yeah.
The canyon in my college town is haunted by a grasshopper man hybrid.
What?
Scary
like
noises.
tumness, but grasshopperness?
Scary noises, thumps around. We call him Tony.
What?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Good. Anyway, sorry.
That's crazy, dude.
Okay, guys, we're gonna wait. You guys, there's more than one of those. There's a grasshopper man in Logan Canyon.
Oh, actually,
is
everyone
this guy
thinks
real?
Grasshopper man. I hate that because grasshoppers are freakish.
I know, but
grasshoppers actually
I was
don't
laughing
like
at this until I see other submissions that are saying the same thing.
That's actually spooked, dude.
I don't like that. Nope.
Whoa.
Okay, we're gonna give you guys one more. We got time for one more. When I was 10, my sister lived in a house in a really small town with maybe 50 houses. I used to stay with her all the time because she was 13 years older than me and had a family. When my nephew was just an infant, I stayed with her, and we went outside on the front porch while he was sleeping in his bassinet, and he started crying out of nowhere, a scream-like cry. We ran inside, and he was being lifted by his onesie out of his bassinet. Exactly how you can picture it. No one holding him, just his onesie being pulled with him as well. The same week, she put his bassinet in the closet because she wasn't comfortable with him being in it. And it was a very big closet. She woke up twice to it just rolling back and forth in the closet.
Ooh.
Haunted bassinet. That is so
What?
scary.
Get
If
rid of
I
that
ever
thing.
saw my baby being lifted by nothing,
No.
I'm sorry.
That's no.
That's it for me.
Throw it out.
That's it for me.
Burn it.
Burn it.
Burn it.
Burn
Did I
it.
say stand there and look stupid?
I
No.
said
I said burn it.
Oh man. You
Okay.
guys, I feel bad that we only got to like 20 stories when there
Literally.
was like hundreds of submissions.
Yes,
So
thank you for submitting as always.
Thank
These are
you.
crazy.
It makes me want to do like another episode because we missed so many of them.
No, it's so
Kinda
fun.
sad. Okay.
Anyway.
Well, thank you for
Thank you.
submitting them. Next time you listen to us, it's going to be November.
That's whack.
Are we for real with that?
Yeah,
Is
that's
it already
whack.
November?
It feels like it should be October 1st right now, but we're October 31st.
But we're like almost through. Yeah.
scary.
So crazy. Anyway, thank you for listening to our scary stories. We hope you all have a happy Halloween.
Yes.
Don't eat too much candy. Just remember the tummy ache.
Now I got a bellyache. Okay, love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.